Benvenuti in Sicilia. Hello, everybody. And today we're taking a stroll in my native land, and we're talking about the Sicilian bull, the brazen bull or the bronze bull, the bellowing bull, or the bull of Phalaris, a torture and execution device designed in ancient Greece, according to Diodoro Siculo, recounting the stories in Biblioteca Historica. Perillo or Perilaus proposed it to him. Bull's design was such that steam from the cooking flesh of the condemned exited the bull's nostrils, and this effect, along with the bull's bellows, created the illusion that the bull came to life during every execution. Pindaro, who lived less than a century later, expressly associates this instrument of torture with the name of the tyrant Phalaris. So, although the truth about the brazen bull is difficult to verify and it might have been created for intimidation rather than actual use, the one tyrant after whom they have invented, cognated, crafted a word, which is Phalarism, Phallarism. And for as much as my brain would love to guide you into an etymology dissection of this name, I'm just gonna limit myself to say the Phalarism for his name was Phalaride, and he was governing in the 6th century AC. We're talking about 570 and 554 in Agrigento. Nowadays, Agrigento called Mighty City, which back then was Akragas, and around whom different anecdotes and stories and storylines begin to weave. It is said that he arrived in Agrigento in Sicilia when the city was just founded and that had obtained the, let's say, appalto, the concession for the construction of the Temple of Zeus, and that he managed to get the sympathy of the population, and that though his reign seems to have been really cruel, and it is very, very famous both in the 27th Cantico song of Inferno, of the comedy of Dante, and also you can find note of this in Polybio, many other sources, which you can find in the description box below. The Tauroi Calceoi, for in fact, two of them were crafted, one by Perillo, the other one by Hephasto, or Hephaesto. And it is said that Hephaestus smithed one for the king Ete of Colchide, of Colchis, and that when Jason, the Argonauti arrived in Colchide looking for the golden fleece, per il bello d'oro, Aete commanded him to yoke the bulls and plow a field with dragon's teeth. And such bull, made in brass, within which, and it is said that Perillo himself actually was the first, in fact, to having to show how the machine worked. And yet it did not die within it. In fact, the tyrant threw him off a cliff afterwards. In ancient times, we have a collection of 148 letters that bear Falaride's name. Of them, many say that they were not based on true events, and that it is to mention that Scipione l'Africano, Scipione Emiliano, Emilian the Scipione, once destroyed Cartago in 146 AC. He chose to give back to Akragas, to Girgenti, to Agrigentum, the brazen bull that was in fact in the city center. To name some of the sources that I have dipped myself have been Nonno di Panopoli, Diodoro Siculo, Apollonio Rodio, Apollodoro, Igino, Ovidio nelle sue Metamorfosi, in his Metamorphoses, and the Heroids by Ovid still, Properzio, Seneca in his Medea, Valerius Flaccus in his Argonautica, and across some of the Byzantine sources, I would like to cite The Characteristics of Animals by Elian, and indeed Aeschylus. I found particular to notice that the word falar is the infinitive form of the verb to speak or to talk, mostly in Portuguese and Galician language. It is important to say that as these ripening times that we find ourselves in unfurl, that we keep in mind that executions were enforced and they were lawful by Roman creed, and that regents, governors, kings, Apkallus in Babylonia and other places were indeed not punished for enforcing torture and executions, and that it is said Falaride himself used to be in fact a cannibal. It's just a little treat today, a little snack. So as always, let's let the images and our divinely guided imagination do most of the talking. Thank you so much for joining me on the edge of the void.